Michael!
What's up, man?
Michael Leslie Pereno.
Is that my middle name?
What's your middle name?
Angelo. Angel.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's Miguel Angel, but illegally.
Illegally?
Legally.
Oh, dude, thought you said illegally, and I'm like, we have to re-record now.
No, legally.
Angel. Dude, Angelo. You're my Angelo. I said it. No regrets. Peyton, what's your middle name?
John.
Dude,
So boring.
it is Peyton John
Peyton John.
Griffith Park.
Griffith, yep.
Peyton John Griffith Park. Everybody in the room right now has had an awesome couple of weeks. We're back in the studio, and it's been great. Yeah, it's been really good, really positive. A lot of interesting stories coming up. Really excited to announce that our numbers have been rising, and I wanted to do a special shout out for all of our new listeners who are tuning in. Hey, thanks for listening. I seriously appreciate it. Tweet at me, message me, let me know that you're listening to the show. I always love to talk with you guys and respond back. Let me know your favorite parts. Maybe comment on YouTube if we're talking about something and you have a different opinion, you know. We also, you know, we want to hear it, you know. If it's respectable, if it's respectful, of course. Yeah, respectable. I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, super appreciative of you guys. Also, make sure you follow us on We Sam's World because we go live, because we record these on Saturdays. So we go live for the first 10 minutes on our Instagram Live. So check us out there. I'm really excited to have our guest today back in the studio. Her name is Britt Robertson. She stars with me on For the People, which season 2 premieres March 7th, Thursday on ABC. We had a wonderful time. We were silly gooses most of the episode, which I love being a silly goose. Silly Billy, more so. I like being a silly Billy. Silly goat. You know what I'm talking about?
Silly Billy Goat.
Yes. What? Silly Billy goat. Silly Billy. Yeah. Sure. All right. Well, hey guys, let's give it up for Britt Robertson. Oh, so loud. Loudest intro ever.
I think we're gonna need to do a dance party with this song.
Oh yeah. Everybody loves this song.
I think I could get some good moves for this song if you need like a little figure, you know, to put like in the corner, doing like some moves. I'll come up with a routine for you.
I would appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know what bit I love doing with you that we did a couple of videos for when we were shooting FTP?
What was it?
Whenever I'm dancing to like a song and you're just looking in the corner like this, like
my classic, like, oh God, what are you doing? Look.
yeah, it's classic Brit.
People always think I look so angry.
What?
In those bits. Yeah, people always go, she's so mean. She's so mean.
They don't get you.
He's just trying to dance.
Yeah.
She's so mean.
My thing is people don't understand that it's a bit.
Yeah.
You know? Like, obviously, I'm not for real.
That's what's frustrating about everything in life, to be honest with you. Because, you know, you're trying to have a good sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the way to live.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you encounter these people who are so serious.
Right.
And, you know, they're not letting you be you and having your bit.
Yeah.
And they just want to tear you down. Do you find that?
All the time.
Yeah. I do too. And I don't appreciate it.
I think most of those people are out of my life right now.
Yeah, you got to get them out.
Yeah, a lot of them have joined the block party.
What's the block party?
Oh, you don't know about my block party?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's great.
Scared.
You want to be disrespectful?
Yeah.
Block!
Oh, you block it on the phone. I imagined this sea of people on one block in Los Angeles. Just like crowded around, waiting for you to accept them back into your life.
Yeah,
Life.
No,
Block.
I just noticed too. I just commented before we started black on black,
Black
but
on
also
black.
your fingernails are black.
Yeah, we shouldn't talk about that.
Okay.
So
All right,
here's
well.
what happens. When we're shooting For the People, I grow my nails out because that's what a respectable lawyer would do. I've been really going through it lately, and I've been biting
Oh yeah, that's right. You're a biter.
I'm a biter.
Nail biter.
Been biting, and so I thought maybe I'll get some color on these nails. Who bites when there's color? I do, apparently, and I have just bitten these things to bits.
Ooh.
And so I'm just keeping the black on there until I really mentally decide we're gonna move on from this phase and grow those nails back out.
Yeah. I'm a toenail picker.
I thought you were gonna say
Biter. No. No.
Can you imagine?
How gross. Hey.
I've
no.
seen people though. Have you seen this? I dated a guy once who would reach the ankle all the way up like to the shoulder area.
Okay.
Examine what's going on around there. And then start tearing a little and then bite a little and then tearing a little and then bite a little.
Oh.
How gross is that?
Oh.
I think that was the moment I decided, oh, I'm not going to be with this person.
Hey,
I can't. Who can?
Hey, guy. Get toenail clippers.
Also, go to the bathroom.
Also-
Who's doing this in front of your girl?
You know, I
Weirdos.
try not to judge, but don't do that.
Today's the day we judge that boy. We don't know his name.
I don't know.
Fine.
You know,
Yeah. Gross.
I was just curious because whenever I would pick at my toenails with my hands,
We all do it.
sometimes they get infected, like really bad. I had to put a bunch of Neosporin on them.
Ooh, that's a bummer. You know, I was bit by a dog recently.
Oh my
You know what
gosh!
that's-
By the way, it's healed up wonderfully.
Thank you.
You
Thank
can't
you.
even tell.
Can you see? No, you really can't. But it got infected.
What?
Yeah, really bad. And I was going on a trip the next day. And it turned like pink and purple. And I was like, oh, my nose is going to fall off. You got to be real careful with the infections. This is a word to the wise. You got to be real careful with these infections because if you
Yeah.
don't start popping that antibiotics quick, you could lose a limb.
Yeah, no, that's
That's
for
what
real.
the doctor kept telling me. Like, thank God you came in. You were going to lose that limb. I was like, this isn't even a limb. This is a nose. It's on the, it's the focal point of the face.
Hashtag bad doctor.
Yeah, hashtag. Well, he was a pediatrician.
Why are you going to a pediatrician?
Inexperienced. No, he was a friend of a friend's doctor. Look, it was a Sunday. I was going to a football game.
Okay.
I was leaving the next day to the Philippines. I needed to get these antibiotics quick.
Okay. All right. fair.
Anyway, so be careful out there. Be careful. I'm sorry. Did you
No.
want to talk more about your infection?
No.
You just hijacked that combo.
No, it doesn't matter. I love talking with you. I don't know where our conversations go sometimes, but I love it.
Sorry it's gone here.
No, I'm not sorry. I didn't know about this. They
Derail
got
us.
infected.
Yeah, I'll show you the photos after. It's really dark.
That's gnarly.
I know. We thought we were going to have to put the dog down. I'm kidding. I'm so kidding. I would never. It's my boyfriend's dog. He'd be real pissed if I was like, well, we're going to have to kill him now.
Oh my gosh.
I wouldn't. I'm a dog lover.
I
would rather-
You're such a dog lover
Yeah.
that you'll just take in strange dogs from the street and tell people that they're not your dog.
Oh my God. This is also a bad story.
Can
Well,
we,
it was my boyfriend's dog.
can we tell the story?
Yeah.
Okay. First and foremost, this is probably one of my favorite stories of all time because we've all done this where
Have we?
no, not this exact thing, but sometimes we lie for
Yes.
no reason.
There's a reason.
Well,
Yes. But
Okay.
yes.
you're just like, why did I say that? Why
And
did
you're
I
like,
just say that?
what's wrong with me? You really start to internalize, like, oh no,
No,
weird, bad, strange move.
weird. Anyway, go ahead with the story.
Well, so again, my boyfriend's dog, this dog, is really gonna get the best of me here. So he doesn't walk with a leash or a collar or anything. And I don't know how to handle that. Like my dogs, you walk them with leashes. They're dogs. And so I was walking my two dogs and my boyfriend's dog with no leash, which I'm already very uncomfortable with. And so and this is, by the way, post-bite. So I'm already a little, like, amped up here.
Got this.
And so there's, like, the day before, this lady had gone by and is like, put your dog on a leash. I'm like, it's not my dog, And so then there's this other lady the next day as I'm walking the three dogs. She's walking down the street with her dog, and I see a car come past, and I think it's the same car that had yelled at me the day before, and I was like, oh, no, there's no leash. I'm going to get yelled at again. And so the car went past, and I've got my dogs and the other dogs, like, across the street, and this lady with the dog who's coming down the road is like, oh, I was so worried. I saw that you had these 2 dogs on a leash, but then I saw this other dog with no leash, and I got so worried, where'd that dog go? And I was like, it's not my dog. It's not my dog. I don't know. It's not my dog. And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, I just found it. It started walking with me and my dogs. It's my boyfriend's dog. And it just starts walking with me and the dogs. I don't know. It's okay. Like, I don't know, around here is my boyfriend's. I'll take him back to my boyfriend's house. We'll see if we can find the owner of this dog. And so, then she's very concerned, this lady's like, well, we need to get on the Nextdoor app. It's this app where everybody tells all the problems in the neighborhood. And she's like, we'll get a picture of the dog. We'll put it on the Nextdoor app. We will find the owner. I'm like, I'll find the owner. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Because I just didn't want to get screamed at. And for not having him on a leash. so then I just start kind of like hustling, like, come on. At one point I even call him by his name, Chuck. And she's like, and I'm like, I've named him Chuck. And she's like, so I'm like, come on, Chuck. Buddy Clyde, let's go. And then we're like, why? She's still like, like yabbering on, like super nosy lady as I'm like getting into the house. Well, cut to my boyfriend calls me like 6 hours later and is like, oh, have you done it now? The neighbors are in an uproar. They've got Chuck's picture all over this app, this Nextdoor neighbor app. She's left notes on my door saying, like, we think you have the dog. So he then had to call this lady. I don't know how he got because she left it on the note that he left her. He had to call this lady and explain that I am a pathological liar. His girlfriend's a pathological liar. And, it is his dog. He's had this dog for 6 years. Don't worry. I don't know why she would lie about this. What was I thinking? Like, what a bizarre move. To this day, I've really questioned my own behavior because of that.
Dude,
I just didn't want to be in trouble.
that is one of my favorite stories of all time.
What was I thinking?
Whenever you told me that at the coffee shop, I remember just being like, Britt!
What's happened to you? You've fallen off.
Everything okay?
I know.
But I get that. Sometimes in the spur of the moment, you just say something.
Mm-hmm.
This is not, the example I'm about to give is a pretty extreme example of this. But there's a comedian who was on a TV show for a while. I forget his name, but he basically lied about being at 9/11.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is extreme.
That is very extreme, especially because I remember he was on the Howard Stern show kind of explaining how it just came about. And he was like, he was just at a bar and he was like, oh yeah, 9/11, I was in New York. And he was in New York, but he wasn't like at where the towers fell.
Right.
And so he was just, they were like, oh my God, what was it like? And he was like, well,
Shut up.
He just went with this story. And then
Once
years
you
later, somebody dug up, like, wait a minute.
You were at Newark Airport.
Yeah, right?
You were in Jersey.
I don't know how I feel about people who, yeah, he was lying. You shouldn't have lied about that. But, like, the person who dug up
digging.
Why?
Scary. That person is scarier.
That's
okay.
that lady.
Right? Yes, that person is scarier. Who's like, no, he was not at 9/11. I'm going to do all this research. Also, what kind of research do you do to find out someone's whereabouts on that particular day?
I don't know.
Facebook, maybe, perhaps?
Somebody who has a lot of time on their shoulders.
A lot of time.
If you're watching real quick on Instagram Live, we're going off. So you get to see the full episode Thursday. Deuces.
What?
Cool. Share to the story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so
Peyton.
that's how that okay, got it.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. Well, that's a good, that's one to really draw them in. Like, ooh,
Yeah.
talking to this liar. Let's find out what else she lies about today.
I was going to ask you, you said the short film we did together.
Yeah.
Got accepted into
a film festival.
Are you allowed to say which one or not really?
I don't know which one right now.
Okay.
I'll get my phone. I think it's called There's a festival for short film festivals on the East Coast. I could be so wrong about this. I just saw Dave yesterday. Dave, who was the co-director of this.
Dave
And
Patton.
Dave
shout out.
Patton. We love Dave Patton.
Yeah.
And he emailed me the information. I think it's called the Media Film Festival, and it's specifically for short films, and it's on
Yeah.
the East Coast. But that was one of the very first ones that we applied to, entered into, whatever the
Yeah.
terminology is for that. And then there's like 10 more that we'll find out more about in the next
Awesome.
couple months, because that's what's crazy about these things. You enter in like 6 months before they tell you because we want to get into the early bird special, because that guarantees that they watch
Right.
the short.
That's smart.
Yeah. But side note, Dave just wrote a script that we had a meeting on. He just wrote this really cool script that we had a meeting on like 2 days ago, that we're going to try and shoot in Philly in the summer, which would be really cool.
Woo!
So that's the idea, is the short will have a life of its own, but it's also kind of giving us a window into these other opportunities, which is really exciting.
Are you excited to get back into the directing and the producing?
You know what I realized?
What?
And you're kind of the first one I've said this to, because I thought, like, I've always thought, like, my mind, because I've been an actor for so long, I see things through, like, the lens of a director, or at least when I'm acting, I do. But from our experience, what I've realized is I don't think I like the directing aspect of it.
Mhm.
What I want to do is produce. Like, I love producing. Like, the fact that I had to, like, put all those pieces together and, like, make those days happen, and like, really coordinating the all the pieces, like, that is the thing I love the most. And directing's cool, but I don't think I have the mentality for it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not about getting, like, the perfect moment on camera. I'm about, like, assembling it and making it all happen and being like, whoa,
Right.
look what we've done. And meanwhile, Dave's like, that shot is the most beautiful thing I've ever. And I'm just like, what? No, it's cool, but, like, we did this big thing.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm more about that moment. So I think that really, which is, by the way, why I wanted to have this experience where we were able to collab and work together, because I was so curious. I had never had the opportunity to explore, like, would I like directing, would I like producing, would I like, you know, not being an actor, would I like those kind of things. And so that really gave me the opportunity to figure out what I want to do, which was really great, kind of invaluable.
Yeah. That's
So
cool that
important.
you're now aware of what, like, okay, maybe not so much directing, more producing aspect. And
Yeah.
I've come to realize that after shadowing a few of the directors on our show, I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. I don't think this part I'm that interested in.
Yeah.
You know, like, I could do it if I
Yeah.
really worked hard
yeah.
and learned, and, like, but, like, it's not something I want to do. I'm more on to the development side of producing, like the actual story development. Like working with a writer or working with writers. Like, okay, where's the story arc of this coming through? I've been learning a lot from certain producers who do that in our industry, in TV especially. They come in as a development producer, and they help out with story arcs and stuff. They might write a little bit, and they usually do, but they're not like the writer or yeah. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of like seeing what's the point of the story? What kind of message are we sending? What kind of, like, how does this character change? This obstacle doesn't seem like a really big obstacle, because it doesn't matter if he doesn't make it, you know? Like, what are the stakes? Can we raise the stakes somehow? You know what I mean?
I
That
love
part,
that. I
yeah.
love that. You know what just having this conversation, what I really love about all of this is, like, you know who you are, you know what you want out of life, and you're super in touch with, like, what you respond to. You know, I think a lot of people can be like, well, I want to be director because that's a cool title. You
Yeah.
know, or I want to be a writer because, like, that's a cool title. It's like, no. Like, what does your heart say? What does your mind say that you really, like, feel excited? Like, I may start producing another short for a friend of mine in the next couple of weeks, just because I just, like, love it. I mean,
Yeah.
not that it's not like I get paid. It's not like it does anything for me, you know, in career world. But it's like it's what I find to be. I love that I was cool with not sleeping for a week just to get that short made, and that's dope. And I love sleep, you know. So the fact that I was cool to give that up just to, like, put the pieces together, it's like
Right.
you really respond to that and go, like, okay, this is what I want to be doing. It's cool that you recognize that within yourself, you know.
Yeah. And being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Because I mean, most people are like, I want to be cool. I want to have that cool title. Like, oh, I'm
Sure.
also a director.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
directed this. Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, that's great.
speaking of like knowing yourself and that kind of stuff, you texted me yesterday about the Free Climber movie you
Yes.
saw.
Free Solo.
Free Solo. Mr. Michael.
Michael was
sir.
nodding his head hard over there in the
I
corner.
haven't seen it. I wanted to.
Oh,
I
you've
want to.
got to see it.
This weekend, I think.
Yeah.
I was just curious if we could pull up just so I can see his face of this
Ooh.
Free Solo. I just want to see the face. No YouTube stuff. So by the way, we got to be super careful because we're gonna start getting kicked off if we play like a lot of YouTube videos or
Is
a
it
lot of the
true?
sound. Yeah. I mean, we got to play like super short and then talk over them. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
being very like
Good.
picky
strict.
about that.
Okay, good to know.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
Let me just I'll
yeah.
give you a little preview. So this guy has fingers, right?
this guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And see these fingers? To practice, he's just in his van pulling his whole body up with just like one little finger.
Yeah.
Whole body up with a finger. I mean, is that not crazy? Look, fingers.
Here's the thing. I'll let you get into it.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I want to hear your perspective on it, but I have to be brutally honest.
Psychopaths.
I do not, and maybe my mind can be changed. I respect them. I don't think they're bad people, but I think free climbing with no ropes or anything like that, it's like if you're gonna risk your life, why don't you risk your life helping people instead of doing something so
Yeah, selfish.
not selfish, stupid. And
Stupid.
I'm being very extreme with it, but because I see it, I'm like, okay, cool. Literally one misstep and
know.
it's all over. For what? For what?
Well, that
Use
documentary,
ropes.
it's a great documentary.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. No, I think that's what this documentary deals with a lot is the mindset. So they did tests. They ran tests on this guy to be like, what's wrong with your brain that you
Right.
think this is cool to just like risk it, like you know? And they did these brain tests on him. And I guess and I wish I knew the terminology for it now, but he's missing the part of his brain that gets excited by things that normal people would get excited about. So they'll show him like, these different images that most of the time the human brain would react to and be excited by those. When they did these tests, his brain was basically inactive, like it was sleeping. Like he just didn't respond. So that's why he's gone to this place of like adrenaline rush junkie to the nth degree, Not that means anything, but they do this whole segment on him and his girlfriend, this girlfriend that he's found. And he's so funny with this girl. He's like, yeah, and by the way, beautiful. Like one of the most beautiful girls you've ever seen in your life. Like gorgeous girl. And he's kind of like, yeah, well, climbing means more. And you're just like, what? Climbing means more. It's like, what do you mean climbing means more? This poor girl's like crying. They're like saying their goodbyes. He's like, because the whole thing is he's wrestling with the fact that there's a camera crew that's going to film him climb this rock at Yosemite or mountain at Yosemite that no one's ever free climbed before. So he's like, yeah, but if you put cameras in a situation where you're already sort of mentally in a headspace, then one little moment where your mind goes, ooh, there's a camera there can be the death of you, And so my point being is so right leading up to the event where he's about to go and do this free climb, they're saying their goodbyes. She's literally holding the person that she loves the most in the world, potentially for the last time. He's watching her just like grieve him, essentially. And for me, that part of it is like the psychological phenomenon of it all. Like I can't imagine like hugging someone that I love so much in this world, knowing that I could take the thing that means the most to them away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like and
Yeah.
so that's why you kind of go like, I wish there was a little, but yeah. Sorry.
No.
Yeah.
I don't mean to cut you off, but like,
No. I don't even know
okay,
what
like-
I'm saying.
like I put that situation
Yeah.
with a man who's fighting for his country and he's going to war.
Yeah.
And it's like she hates that he's going to, but you know what? You're doing something for not self-sacrifice, but like for the sacrifice of the country, for the greater
Yes.
good. I respect that, and I
Yeah.
hate that you're going, and I'm scared, but this is what it is. And that makes more sense to me than I'm gonna free climb this rock. Not even use ropes. If he was like, baby, I love the thrill of it. I'm being as safe as I possibly can. There's ropes, there's safety net or whatever. But like nothing? Okay. You slip, you fall, you die. Bye.
And so many of these guys say, I will keep doing it until I die.
Yeah, I think there's a disconnect. Like,
yeah.
with the brain, like, I don't think it's necessarily a good thing either. Yeah.
And you're the least judgmental person I've ever met in my life, you know, and because it's not to judge, it's just a mentality that I truly cannot understand or even really relate to. I mean, it's a powerful documentary, but there is a part of me that's like, I don't even feel for this person because I'm so far beyond being able to relate to that kind of experience.
Yeah.
That I can like feel for these, you know what I mean? Bizarre.
I also think it's a maturity level,
path.
and if you did, please, by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube or you're listening, send me a tweet or a comment. Like,
Yeah, what are your
I'd love to
opinions?
your thoughts, because I'm always willing to change my mind and open my perspective. But right from where I'm at, I think it's also a maturity thing. Like whenever I've gotten older, I remember some of the stuff I used to do in high school and be like, "Ooh, that was kind of stupid," because I realized the value of life. And if you are going to risk your life for something, dude, it better be something important.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, it's too fleeting, this thing.
So
called
what
life.
what reminded you of me in this?
Well,
That's why my whole thing was on it.
no, I think because I just think it's like an interesting character study.
Oh,
you
okay,
know?
okay.
Like I think no, I don't think you're gonna free solo climb mountains by any means, but I think I think it's a very interesting character study watching this man, really spending 2 hours with him on this journey. It's a fascinating. I've never sort of met or been introduced to a type of person like this, and it is all very mental. It's all about his perspective on life and how he views the world, and I just think it would be an interesting character study for you to. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't mind
interesting.
watching a little bit for the character side. I think he was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and that's the first time I heard him, and I was like, oh, don't like you.
What did Joe have to say about him?
Oh, he thought he was insane.
Really?
Yeah, he was just like, dude. He's like talking about how his palms get sweaty even talking about or like watching the videos. Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I know I run super early on a mountain, and people, especially my mom, she gets worried.
Yeah,
about
we
me.
all do.
When
there was torrential rains, I think you got like 32 texts of people being like, "Get off the mountain!"
Yeah, and the thing is, like, okay, mudslides, I totally get that,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like, I was fine. Like, I wouldn't have done it if I really thought like, ooh, this is a really dangerous thing to do.
Thank God you had that trash bag.
Oh, that
protecting
did
you.
nothing.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna do something.
It's
I was
pretty
like,
funny. Sorry, continue.
no, and so like I know there's a mountain lion in Griffith Park, and it's called P22.
P22, he's still around?
Oh, yeah.
He's dead.
What?
I thought he was dead.
I know it sounds horrible, but I hope I hope he comes to a natural end, just because I don't have to worry about him anymore.
Yeah, he's got to go. Got to get him out of here.
Well, anyway, I make sure when I'm running, I play my music really loud because it's super early on the trail. There's nobody else there. I play my hardcore music, so any animals in the vicinity know that I'm coming. You know what I mean?
Wait, you play it out loud on a speaker?
On my phone.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So my
okay.
rock hardcore music is like,
okay.
and then also I carry my which doubles as a walking stick, my bow staff.
What's a bow staff?
It's like a long stick, basically.
Oh,
Yeah. And then I also carry a little knife with me, just in case something happens, because they're
Wilderness man.
kind of. I don't. If there's people on the trail, I don't have like the knife out. I'm like, clear away. Could you imagine?
Yes, I can.
But I've taken like necessary precautions whenever I do go running to make sure that it's very unlikely I will encounter the lion. And if I do, I'm kind of ready and prepared to make myself big or have something to put distance in between me and the lion. I know this sounds crazy. You're making this face that like I'm...
No, look, this is a conversation we have had and will always have, which is, I respect it. What you do fascinates me beyond belief, but I respect it. It's what gets you in your right mental headspace. Would I do it? Nay. I would do it one day with you. I've said, I'll do it I would love to do it one day when I'm in really good shape, but because I know you're running, and like I'm not great with running. I can barely hike.
Yeah.
But I respect it. It's like whatever you need to do for your life, and it's good for your mind and your soul and your
It
heart.
really is. And
You're
like
not hurting
today
anyone.
especially, it was freezing. My fingers went numb, and part of my nose was going numb. I was like, I can't feel that nose. I don't know if it's a stroke or if it's just really cold outside because it was like 40 and there was lots of wind
Whoa.
up there. But afterwards, I just feel so happy that I did it.
Ah.
And like the part where I get to pray and meditate, that's like the best part of it all.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can't just like do that on the ground somewhere.
Nah.
No, it needs to be up
No.
on the mountain.
Yeah, it needs to be very difficult.
Yeah, I get it. It's your. So one of the first times I ever worked out with Wee Sam, it was really hard. It was on an elliptical machine in the gym, but it was still really hard. And I remember you said this like really beautiful mantra to me as we were like ending the second minute, or 2 or 3 minutes in to the very tail end of the workout. And I remember thinking like inside my head, as you do when you think, and I thought like, oh, I sort of understood all of a sudden. I sort of understood what you're doing up there on the mountain, what it does for you. And by the way, at the end of it, like even the other day when we did 100 flights of stairs, which was a really big deal for me.
Oh yeah.
I probably had a glimpse into the kind of happiness that you have after you've accomplished something like that. So, and that feeling I had that for like a full week. I was like jonesing, like, God, that felt good. I'm so great at everything in life. Made me feel really good about myself. So I respect it. Do what you gotta do, bud.
Respect you.
I said like
Peace.
brud. It
Brud.
needs to be bud and bro together.
We're gonna take a quick break, but we'll be right back.
Bye.
Ready? So,
I'm so excited about this story.
the guy who choked out the mountain lion
What?
in Colorado. Yeah, so he was jogging. Yeah, he was jogging and he heard twigs break behind him. He looks behind and there is an adolescent mountain lion and it's running at him, and he tried making his arms big, he tried making a lot of noise, and it just jumps on him. And he puts his hand up and it bites his hand or his arm, I think, and he's toppling down the mountain a little bit with it. And then he's trying to like, he pinned its legs somehow, and then he tried to get a rock and like hit it. Meantime, it's like it fucking clawed his lip.
What?
It's like it's still biting his arm. I mean, this
Oh,
thing is
no.
trying. I mean, it's once the fear subsided, he said, like that fright, like
Yeah.
freeze. He said it was just like he was just trying to fight, and so somehow he gets his foot on its neck and just chokes that thing out
With the foot?
with his foot. I mean, could you like, hi warrior? Yes. And then he walks back, tells like the rangers like, I choked out a mountain lion.
What?
Yeah,
Do we think this is the first time this has ever happened that we know of?
of like a person killing a mountain lion with their bare hands.
Yeah.
It's probably happened before, not many, and there's only 20 recorded mountain lion attacks in
Oh.
like the last 100 years or something.
Yeah, and out of those
So it's rare.
20, I mean, do you think that
Oh,
any of those people were like, okay, let's do this? I'm gonna
Maybe,
brawl.
but dude, I mean,
The ones that come out. And see, I feel like this is a story I would hear about you in like 5 years down the road, you know? Wee Sam, he was hiking Mount Rushmore, and then he choked out a bear or a mountain lion or something really terrifying. I feel like I could see you taking down Bigfoot. By the way, I watched this movie. Weird segue.
no, do it.
I watched this really weird movie yesterday, guys. It's called The Man Who Killed Hitler and then the Bigfoot. That's what the movie's called.
Oh, a crazy person.
But also, what is this movie? Put it on. Genius. They've got Bigfoot. Like, they show... Because I was like, how are they going to show Bigfoot? You know? They show Bigfoot by the end of the movie. They're showing him. He sort of looks like a jacked up planet from the ape from Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
And by jacked up, I just mean like kind of like sort of ghostly.
Oh, this is it?
Yeah.
Sam Elliott.
Oh, Sam Elliott is in this movie, by the way. Oh, you don't get to see Chewbacca,
he
but
is the man.
he's the man who kills Hitler and then the Bigfoot. But see, this guy, by the way, at one point they show him free climbing up a mountain.
Oh, of course.
With a broken pinky, and he's just kind of like, but I just watched Free Solo. I went on a bit of a movie binge yesterday. I just watched Free Solo, and we see him climbing up this mountain with the broken pinky, and you're just going like, and no, this guy can barely walk. He's literally hobbling around. It's the most bizarre movie, but totally worth watching because it's hilarious, and you've got to see this Bigfoot at the end. I swear, it looks like Chewbacca, but was maybe eaten by a ghost.
I want to see.
I don't know if there's any images, but it's really great. The first shot that they show Bigfoot is like through a scope, like with the guns and scopes, you know, and it's amazing because you go like, is that a joke? And you just see him go, ah! like Chewbacca noises, literally like, ah! And he's got like brown furry hair, and then he takes off. And from that moment on, I was like, oh, we have to finish this movie. I have to know I have to see more of Bigfoot.
That's
amazing.
When you were doing that sound now, I think you should play Bigfoot.
It's my next role, guys. It's what I'm going up for next.
For our buddy cop comedy, maybe you have a thing with Bigfoot.
Oh, is this it?
Yeah, like the whole time I keep thinking, like the greater mission here is to capture Bigfoot.
Yeah, right?
Maybe that's it.
What, you're going to pull something out?
I was, but then it disappeared.
Oh.
You look very nice here.
Thank you.
Very nice. Yeah. What a nice guy.
I just shaved, too.
Today?
Actually, just before I came in here.
That one?
Oh, is that it?
You wish. No.
Oh,
it's so much jankier than that.
Is it on Netflix?
No, I bought this puppy on Apple TV. I swear. Rented.
Well, I have a thing.
Rented.
I have a thing with Bad Movie Night. And so, oh, shoot. I guess I should announce
Pursuit.
it. What is it called?
No. Have you seen Cold Pursuit?
No.
The Liam Neeson movie? It's insane.
Insane bad?
I think so.
Oh, yeah. That's how I felt about Hitler.
Okay.
Movie.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Tonally, it's all over the place.
I love tonally all over the place. Nothing better than. By the way, that movie that I was talking about, Hitler Bigfoot movie?
Yeah.
98% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Of course. It's that bad.
No, 98% good.
I know. That's what I mean. It's so bad that it becomes good.
That people love it?
Yeah.
I was very confused by this rating. Anyway, keep going. You need to announce.
I think we might be doing, you know how we do our Guys Night podcast here?
Yeah.
We might be doing Bad Movie Night.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do
it.
Do it.
What are you gonna preview?
Not sure yet. Not sure.
All right, maybe we can get some requests if anyone has any bad movie stuff.
It has to be so bad it's good. It can't be like mainstream bad. You know what I mean?
Troll 2.
Yeah, stuff like that. But like,
Troll
like in that
2. Isn't that an animation?
No.
It's actually about goblins.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's better. I was like troll. I'm
More
thinking
specifically trolls. That was the stupidest
I
joke.
was like, no, goblins.
Goblins? We get in a huge fight?
Yeah.
Can you imagine
Guys,
Michael screaming at each other?
I can't imagine. I've seen it.
Wait, did you?
They just named it Troll 2 because it was a sequel to the first Troll movie, which was actually had a character named Harry Potter and was starred Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Oh, wow.
Whoa. Huh. Well, you just blew our minds
Can you imagine the production meeting on that movie?
Yeah. I can.
So
Yeah.
I was just listening to this guy on the Joe Rogan podcast, speaking of people who do crazy things.
Yes.
He crossed Antarctica by walking it and pulling a sled full of his food and fuel.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean? He crossed.
He walked across it. He walked across
the continent?
Yeah, of Antarctica.
What kind of clothes did he have on?
A lot. like thick clothes.
And was this summer in Antarctica or was it cold there?
I guess since it's winter here, it'd be technically summer, but
it's
there
still
was wind
very
chills.
cold.
It was like during the storms, it was -80 wind chill.
Well,
well, I was gonna bring it up because he,
Yikes.
you know how he became doing all these crazy things.
What's he thinking?
So he became the first person to do it.
Yeah.
He has two other world records. He's summited Mount Everest. You gotta check him out. His name is Colin. Colin, I think.
Seems like a normal name.
Michael.
I'm looking right now.
Yeah.
Michael, get on it. Get on it. Just kidding. You're a sweet man.
Colin.
Egglesfield. That's an actor.
He was just on. Anyway, he was in Thailand. What sparked this whole journey of his?
Yes.
He was in Thailand.
Yeah.
And he was young and wanted to do
O'Brady.
Colin O'Brady.
Yes, Colin O'Brady.
Colin O'Brady.
Irishman.
He saw these people jumping like a jump rope that was on fire, and so he's like, "Oh, cool! I want to do that." So he was doing it. It tied around his leg, set him on fire. Luckily, there was some water nearby, and he jumped in, but it already burned so much of his legs and stuff like that. And doctors were like, "You probably never walk again." And he had this whole long recovery to
Word
walk.
to the wise. Don't be playing with fiery jump ropes. Sorry, keep going.
No.
He had this mission that now
Yeah.
he wants to walk again.
Yeah. And then he was like, "I want to do a triathlon too," and he's never done a triathlon. And then he does his first triathlon in Chicago. You seem upset by this.
I'm deeply disturbed.
Why?
Well, because, once you get the fiery jump rope, once you make it through that, don't
Yeah.
you then just want to go and be in a movie theater for the rest of your life?
You would think so, but
He went the other way,
Yeah, he did, because I think he had to overcome this adversary of learning how to walk again. And,
Yeah.
Anyway, he does his first triathlon in Chicago, and he wins it.
No!
He wins it, not just in his age group. He wins the entire thing.
That is... What? Did he train?
Oh yeah, he trained.
Okay.
Yeah, but
But
from being burnt so badly that he
they
couldn't
thought he
walk.
could- he must have made a miraculous recovery to some extent because he then
Yes.
could walk and bike and swim.
Right.
Isn't that what it is? Bike, walk, swim?
Yeah, but he was talking about mindset. That's what helped him most.
Oh.
Being positive. His mom was putting this positivity in his mind, and the mindset and when he was crossing Antarctica, to show you how amazing this guy is. He lands in Antarctica and 0.4 miles in, he starts crying because he's like, "What the hell have I gotten myself into?"
Baby.
And he calls his wife and he's like, "I think I messed up."
He's a wife? What's he doing in Antarctica?
I know. It's one of the better amazing people stories I've ever heard. And you're probably listening to this and thinking, "Oh, he's the same as the rock climbing guy." No. Because you should hear how he prepped for it.
Okay.
Because his preparation for it was with scientists, nutritionists, testing things out. And then, I mean, you're like, that's the way. If you're going to do crazy things, you do it that way.
Properly.
And he talks about how he got into these flow states, which I think you as an actor have gotten into sometimes, performance-wise.
What's the flow state?
You're in the zone.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. In the zone. Yeah.
You'd
Very
be
rarely do I
traveling
get into those
16
modes, but-
hours at a time, 18 hours at a time. And he said it felt like an hour.
What? Ooh, I want to be in a flow state. That sounds great.
Yeah.
So how long did it take him?
54 days. That's it.
That's it. That's 2 months.
To cross Antarctica?
I don't know.
That's so short, in my opinion.
Hard to say. Feels. I mean, what about the food?
Britt Robertson!
I know. I'm
You're
just,
that's kind of long.
on a personal level, I'm just going, 2 months. I couldn't do that out there, but I couldn't do it in couldn't do 2 days. Although I will say,
Yeah.
do you have a personal mission? I would like to touch Antarctica with a foot or something, but never cross it.
That is so weird. Just with your foot?
Yeah, just because I want to go to all the continents. I need to still go to South America, and then Antarctica would be next.
Okay. You don't want to hang out there. You just want to literally touch it and then head back.
I mean, maybe I'll chill with a penguin or two. I think
Yeah.
you can go from Cape Town down, maybe around. I don't know. I think from Cape Town you can go because when I was in South Africa,
By the way,
around.
flat earthers are not believing you right now.
Listen, it's a sphere. When I was in Cape Town, just outside of Cape Town, there's this beautiful, I can't remember the beach, but I can't remember the name of the beach, but
Halabakasano?
nope. It's called Michael, maybe you can find this out. It's the one with the penguins. They're the Antarctic penguins. They get a little too cold in Antarctica, and then they go up to South Africa. They swim like this, and they go up to South Africa, and then you can literally go and play with these penguins in South Africa, and they're from Antarctica.
Boulders Beach.
Boulders Beach! I went to Boulders Beach. It was so fun. I played with the penguins. And, so I feel like if they can make it to South Africa from Antarctica, then maybe I'd find one who wants to go back with me and travel over there and play with some more.
That would be cute.
Penguins, so cute.
A penguin would be cute. It would be. I want a baby orangutan more than anything right now.
Okay. Have you seen these chimpanzees that kill each other?
I don't want a chimpanzee, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They're all from the same family, don't you think?
No, it's an orangutan. It's a little nicer and a little different.
A little nicer, a little different.
A little nicer and a little different.
Have you heard about these gorillas that are going extinct in Africa?
No. What's going on?
Well, they're going extinct, but there's a movie that I may do. We'll find out tomorrow. Sorry, I've gone all over the place.
That's all the information you have.
yeah.
They're going extinct.
They're dying. They're dying off and they're dying. No, my friend just went to go see them.
Yeah.
But they're these gorillas. I can't remember where they. Maybe don't know where they are. I don't know where they are. I just look up like small, little 2-minute clips on YouTube. Don't really need to learn too much, just enough to know I want it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
of course.
So I made you this movie that would shoot in like East Africa, in Mauritius, and which is close to the gorillas. And so what I would like to do is do this movie in Mauritius and then go and fly over to the gorillas. And you get to see them. You have to do these like 3-hour hikes. This is me hiking. You have to do these 3-hour hikes, and then you get to see them in their natural habitat, and you get to just observe and be one with the group. But very scary stuff. I mean, they could kill you at any time. Same with these orangutans that you want so bad.
I want a baby one. I want to be. It's parental. I want it to love me. I want to put it in diapers. I want it to treat it well.
That sounds so cute. If you bring it to work, I will be so thrilled. But, babies turn into adults.
I know. That's I'm telling you, orangutans, and especially orangutans, are different.
What's so different? And how did you
A lot more docile.
Oh, I do love docile.
Very, very intelligent. Now, I've seen videos of people who do these tours with the gorillas.
With the gorillas.
I can't imagine a more stressful thing. Do you know what I mean?
I'm pretty dumb. I feel like I'd be just like, they seem nice to me.
The ones where, I should be more specific, where the silverback is like, oh, don't make eye contact, put your head down.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's like when they're telling you not to look, and you're like, all I want to do is look.
For me, I'd be like, oh, okay, this is the worst way to die. I'm going to get jacked by a silverback gorilla. He's going to punch me so hard. I can't even imagine what that's going to feel like. Or can you imagine him grabbing you and just dragging you through the brush? That's it. It's over. Game over.
No, you would be the guy who would strangle him with your feet. With your little toe shoes.
Thank you for that.
You'd be like, clamp his neck. You would. I've seen your kicks. They're high and mighty.
They are high and mighty. They are not as mighty as a gorilla. I will say that. Dude, I saw a silverback at the zoo, and I was like, oh, there's nothing you could do.
They're very angry at the zoo, though. Very angry.
Have you seen their booties?
I don't really like to look at their butts.
Mr. Michael?
Let's see a booty.
Let's Google gorilla booty.
No, I just like their faces and their chest. Don't you like their chest? How it's kind of like strangely hairless. Everything else is hairy, and then it's like strangely hairless.
Is that really?
On the chest?
Oh, I never even noticed that. Actually, now that okay.
You're just staring at their butts the whole time. That's what you've been looking at the whole time.
Yeah. How can you not?
That's a big booty. That's a big booty.
That's a good gorilla. I mean,
that's a great butt. Michael. I mean, you chose the right image.
When they're walking on their have you ever seen them walk on their back legs?
They're very cute.
I mean, those glutes. Can you imagine that thing kicking you with its glute?
Owie.
I was really worried about what would show up when I put
gorilla
butts into
it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I bet you
GorillaBooty.com.
You should have the safe search on that computer. I'm sure nobody's doing any nasty business around here.
Well, once the guests leave.
Woo! Stuff gets
Michael
crazy.
does stay here writing, quote unquote.
Actually writing.
Writing.
There are windows now, so you gotta
reading or watching. No,
Oh my
Michael,
gosh.
we're not trying to destroy your reputation like that.
No, Michael's legit, man. He's
Legit
Michael's legit from Chicago.
Pitt. Brad Pitt, legit. Oh, that's a good one. That's gonna be my new compliment to people. Oh, you a Brad Pitt legit? They're gonna love it. It's gonna make the rounds.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'll start it out on Twitter, which I don't have. I'll borrow yours. How about that?
That's fine. Wait, you do have Twitter, right?
I don't.
You deleted it?
Well, it hasn't been used. Remember we looked it up last time we were here? It had been like 340,000 days since I had tweeted.
Yeah.
Liquid break. By the way, I'm double dipping here. I've got a hot coffee and a cold brew.
That's awesome. You're caffeinated up. I can feel it.
There's this thing I like to take at the gym now. It's called Celsius. It's like a pre-workout.
Celsius?
You know this?
No, but I pre-workouts. Okay.
But it's delicious. It's sparkling. And it gets me excited for my workouts. It's actually now why I show up to the workouts.
Okay.
So
I gotta recommend a pre-workout that I used to take, but
it better be fun. What is it?
it is fun. It's a cherry flavored and it's all organic and
Tricky.
there's a lot of B vitamins and a lot of caffeine in it. Does yours have a lot of caffeine?
Not sure.
Okay, let me know the ingredients because I'm kind of curious
I'll
to
take a
know if
picture next time.
Celsius. It's called Celsius.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
So this last season on For the Peeps, which is the show we're on.
Oh, by the way, I
together.
want to ask you something about that. But go ahead.
Oh, okay. So this last season that we did of For the Peeps, people, I was wearing a lot of Mountain Dew branding to work often because people, once they found out that I liked Mountain Dew, all I would get would be like Mountain Dew socks, Mountain Dew sweatshirt, Mountain Dew t-shirt, Mountain Dew hat.
Yeah.
Mountain Dew. And so then I would just wear it to work and I would do these Insta stories or I would just try to promote, my love for Mountain Dew in hopes to get some sort of sponsorship. But now I'm thinking of maybe segueing that into the Celsius world.
Oh.
Because I feel like people would respect me more if I say Celsius, something they've never even really heard of, rather than Mountain Dew.
You know what? Screw people if they don't respect you.
Yeah!
Do what you want to do. No?
Yeah! Well, it is a bit. People think it's white trash.
What?
Yeah, that's what I've been told a
Listen,
lot.
I'm not a fan of soda and most sodas.
I know.
But just say it's white trash. Like, what?
By the way, if it was my worst, if it's my worst vice, which it's not, but if it was, then let me have it.
They're a worse thing. Yeah. I used to be addicted to Mr. Pibb and Dr. Pepper.
Bizarre. I get the Dr. Pepper thing. The Mr. Pibb is.
It's the same thing.
It is a little.
Oh my God.
When'd you stop?
When I started trying to really eat healthy, I actually got some blood work done.
Ooh, but wait, before you made the decision to no longer DP and pivot, or
DP and pivot. That is the quote.
or just recently you're referring to. Blood work.
Wait. I'm sorry. I'm confused now. What you're asking?
Is the reason you stopped the drinking of the DP and the Pib because you got blood work done?
No.
Or just
This
recently?
was years ago. I stopped
Got
drinking DP and Mr. Pibb. I just stopped drinking soda in general when I realized how much sugar.
I know.
That's the thing. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not gonna give up. I made this trade off. Not gonna give up sugar entirely, but I'm gonna eat the sugar I want to eat in other things. Does that make sense? Because it is
it makes sense.
It's so. And what I found a substitute that I've gotten used to now, and I actually love, and I drink so much of this stuff. It's sparkling lime soda water, like just flavored lime. Or it's one from Whole Foods I get that's like black cherry, and it tastes so good.
But not specifically
No, it's like I forget what it is, but I go through cases of that stuff.
Really?
I love it, and it fills me up a
Really?
little bit. Yeah, really,
No, give me that soft-spoken radio voice. Really? That's all right.
really. Wait, well, hold on, I'm gonna
Get it.
really.
Have you heard of
Really?
this stuff that
Can't do that.
you know
Fuck it.
the what's it called with the initials NPRDRS2?
ASLR?
Is that where it's like
Yeah, you talk like this.
click?
So it's like, hi. So Brett Robertson, you're on For the People on.
Oh, it makes me so uncomfortable, doesn't it? Ah!
I'm just like, hey, project.
I know. Like, I don't like that soft-spoken broken voice.
Nah.
All right, keep going. So you were gonna ask me a question about For the Peeps.
Oh no, it's more a statement. I'm so excited for people to see it.
Oh yeah. What do you
March
think
7th.
your favorite episode is gonna be?
Well, I think it's gonna be the first one, just because people get to see one of my favorite things to act, like my
It's
themes
so
of
good.
acting
It's so
with.
good.
I love acting with frustrating people.
I know.
And you get to see me
Oh,
as
it's
Jay
so
acting
funny.
with somebody frustrating, and it's just like, it's so satisfying for me. as an
Yeah,
actor.
you have really good stuff in the first episode. It's
Yeah.
super funny, like a really cool storyline.
And it sucks because you face this question, and I get it all the time. What can we expect from season 2? Is there anything you could tell us? It's like
Yeah.
I can't give away stuff from the season. I can say like,
They just want exciting teasery stuff, So like, what is that? What's the exciting teasery stuff?
I tell them like relationships and unexpected friendships
Yeah.
happen.
Cool dynamics, which I like a lot. It's
Yeah.
like fun, interesting. I mean, because for me as a viewer, like that's the stuff I respond to when watching television is, it's less about like subject matter sometimes, It's like you could be talking or, working around any sort of subject, but it's like how people are handling it. And I think that's kind of what you're talking about in the first episode. It's the way the Jay character sort of handles this situation that he's put into.
Yeah.
Which I think is fun. And I kind of agree. Like like for me with the exciting, although I was talking to the writer recently. By the way, I had to do an interview about the show for the TCAs. It was like one interview with Hope, which I spilled my drink beforehand. By the way, I was like, they were like offering up mimosas at 10 in the morning, and I was like, no, I'll take one, like a psychopath. And then I didn't even have one sip and spilled the whole thing like on the table right before the interview. Super professional.
Wow.
But I just made light of it. Anyway, so I had this interview, and he's like, what can we expect? Same question. And I was like, like I hadn't even thought about the show since, December but now I've had some time to think. Back to the point. I've had some time to think. And I've been told episode 7, which is a cool episode for me, which is Jim's episode. I know. Who's Jim? The director. No, it's
okay. Sorry.
I think we go to some, like, Charles and I go to some fishing spot or whatever. But what's cool about it for me is, like, I think you really get to, because a lot of people tell me, like, who's Sandra? I don't get her. She just loves work. Like, who loves work that much, But for me, I had, like, a cool moment to play where you kind of get to understand who my character is. Sort of, you get a more fuller understanding of who she is and why she operates the way she does.
Yeah, that's always good.
Yeah, no, so I'm excited for that. But I'm excited for the whole season because, again, a lot of cool characters, a lot of great actors, and you get to see a lot of everybody. And I'm always interested in that.
Yeah, and I just love the way the show is kind of, it's
Format?
a true ensemble.
Yeah.
Like, it's so well balanced. And I'm not saying that just because we're on it, but like, I'm, like, like, you're reading the scripts and you're like, oh, cool, I'm lighting this episode. And then, like, next episode, you're like, oh, cool, I've got a little bit more. Next episode, oh, cool, around the same. And then, oh, I'm lighting this one. And then the next one, like, everybody seems to, like, and then everybody has that episode. It's like, oh, you see him once.
Yeah.
It's like they focus on really something else that's going on, which is cool. I feel
great.
like, because it keeps, like, viewers enriched in what else is going on. Like, not one person is holding the whole show, which I feel like people miss that, especially nowadays. Like the early Game of Thrones, I think. Are we good on time?
Yeah, just like 3 minutes.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry, I didn't know when you were stretching with your.
I know my wrist.
Yeah, I thought it was like, is he giving me one or like, hurry up? Right.
There's no more minutes.
There's no. Dude, funny story. Whenever we come back from the break, I'll tell. But real quick, I think that's what made Game of Thrones so successful in the first and second seasons before they really started killing everybody off, because you were so like, oh man, I need to find out what happens here. But also, there's like 6 other groups of people. I need to find out. Like, that's what kept you so engaged.
Yeah.
And I feel like our show is doing something special.
We're
like
the
that.
new Game of Thrones.
Did
That's
I
how
say
I've
it?
been pitching it.
That's what can we expect? Like Game of Thrones. All right, we'll be right back. All right,
Funny story.
Now I remember the funny story.
Okay, good.
I was doing press stuff at the Facebook headquarters here in LA with Jasmine and Reggae.
Well, where was I?
You were in New York.
Oh, okay. I was probably like, man, I don't want to show up to this. I'm kidding. Go.
I wish you were there though, because I feel better whenever I do press stuff with you guys, just because it's just much easier. You're more
Yeah.
comfortable. And I remember we were doing like a Facebook Live thing, and we were answering questions and interacting with people. And at one point, the director of the thing, I mean, we were just being silly gooses the whole time.
Good.
And he goes like this. He's giving like
The wrap it up sign.
wrap it up signal, which to me it looks like a tornado, and I'm like,
What?
I go, wait a minute, and like he was just doing it so
Like,
dramatically.
Kansas, Wizard of Oz.
I was like, oh, is there a tornado? And he's like, like, dude, the look on his face was like, no, just.
End. He just starts trying to find different ways to say end.
And I was like, I know what it means, man. And he's
Oh, you
like,
did.
oh, and like everybody started laughing because they thought it was for real.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
By the way, yeah, I mean, if I was that guy and I thought that you thought that there was an actual tornado in Los Angeles happening, I'd be like, get him out.
Get him out.
He's an idiot. Get him out. He's not allowed.
He felt like one of those directors who constantly has to work with like talent or like, do you know what I mean? He's
Yes.
just dealing with frustrating people. Tornado?
I feel like so with our show, because we will have, we have like our main director Tom Verica who works on like the first episode and the last and maybe like one in between, but then we have these guest directors that come in, and when they come into the federal public defender's office after they've been with like the prosecutors who are a little more serious and take their jobs seriously, and then they come into us and I've got like full Mountain Dew gear on.
I love it because not to say we don't take it seriously,
No.
but there's a lot more silly goosery going on on our end, to the point where poor Hope sometimes is like, okay, guys.
Let's do some real acting. My dog's running around. It's like full Mountain Dew. I'm like, let's do videos where I'm like taking off the Mountain Dew hoodie and showing you my Mountain Dew t-shirt underneath. And everyone's like, are we going to rehearse this scene? I'm like, we don't need to. We got it.
Or the game me and Jasmine play
Oh
with
my
you
gosh,
sometimes.
you
which
guys. You have
it's
to hear
the-
this game.
It's the best game ever to play, and it only works if you're if you're a super professional on your job, because otherwise you'll be distracted the whole time.
Yes.
Where I used to do this thing where if I'm at a bus stop or I'm waiting somewhere, I would start thinking of funny scenarios where what people would be thinking. So I see somebody's face and maybe they're going like this, like, and it's so childish. And I'd be like, oh, they probably have diarrhea right now or
Yeah.
something that they're trying to hold in.
Sure.
And that would give me just enjoyment watching them act. And when you transfer that game with other people, like,
Specifically the background, because they're given these sort of like really simple tasks sometimes to
Yes.
be working in the background, but they have they're acting, they have expressions, they have stuff going on, they have life going on.
oh, it's hilarious. And also with like crew members, we do it sometimes with too.
Yeah, that one's
I mean,
very
now
funny.
explaining it, people are like, what are you? This
No,
doesn't.
but I mean, if you see someone squatting at the side of the room and they're just like, they've got like this happened one time, I think it was, where there was like a grip or something and he was waiting for them to bring in a light bulb. So he was squatting in this very awkward position. And I remember it because I always try to play, but I'm not very creative. And so I remember just thinking like, okay, come up with something good to tell Wee Sam and Jazz that this guy's doing. But he's like, in this very uncomfortable position, and he's got this like very serious focus, but also frustrated face on. And I'm like, okay, what could it be? He's pooing, but he can't poo. No, he's having a child. He's in labor. And like, I'll come up with these ones, and then I was like, none of these are good. This isn't good material. But you guys are incredible at it. Like the one that I loved the most was Jazz once said, ooh, he just won the lottery, but then found out that he's going to jail for tax evasion. You know what I mean? Or something like that. And then you look at this guy's face and you go, what?
That's
of
perfect.
course,
Spot
yes.
on. My favorite one to this day is the extra who looked like I go, hey, I don't say who it is first. I just say the scenario. So I'll go, started the Santa Barbara fire,
No.
and you look in the corner, there's this extra who's just like, like,
Yes.
like looking so suspect.
Waiting to be taken in at any moment. Yeah, but it keeps you on your toes, you know? It really keeps
It's
you on
fun.
your toes.
I think we do. I mean, they have a good time there too as well. I think we're a lot more because our scenes feel the majority of the
We're
scenes
more
in the Public Defenders.
fun. Just say it.
I don't want to hurt their feelings.
They're boring over there in the prosecutor's office. No, but imagine
It's
like
all-
what
it's
a
a blast.
juxtaposition it is to go from like their office, which is also like freezing, and giving poor Ray Gay like some sort of outbreak at every given moment. They work on this stage that I'm pretty sure has like asbestos because
yeah.
our poor
Oh, yeah.
actor Ray Gay has these like great, I don't know why I'm laughing or telling this story. Poor Ray Gay, but he'll have these like allergic reactions, and they'll be like, oh, it's a flare up for
I
old
don't
Ray
think-
Gay.
I think it's BS.
You think it's I don't know.
I'll say that to his
was,
face.
like,
I don't care.
pretty
I'll say it to
blown up.
Ray Gay.
They reshot some of his stuff one day, I think, because his face was so blown up.
I murdered him at Mario Kart.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah. That guy, I don't think he's a gamer.
I want to have him back on, but I kind of played him a little bit.
What'd you do?
I have been playing Mario Kart since like the SNES, excuse me,
I don't know what that means.
the Super Nintendo when it came out on the Super Nintendo Mario Kart, which
What's
has been
the
years.
ES stand for?
Entertainment system.
Wow.
Yeah.
With some boys today. Okay, go.
So I've been playing it for a while. I'm good. I'm real good.
I believe it.
And then he goes, "Hey, you want to play Mario Kart in my trailer?" I was like, "Yeah, of course, cool." He's like, "Have you played before?" I was like, "Yeah. I don't think I've played on the Switch, but I've played." And he's like trying to show me the controls. And I'm like, "Okay, cool, thanks." Yeah. And then
And then you rocked his world.
yeah,
Did he cry?
he was kind of surprised.
Did his face blow up like he had an allergic reaction?
A little bit.
Poor Ray Gay.
But then he said, "I got to work on my lines," so he stopped.
Oh, yeah, I gotta work on my lines. Yeah, I've heard it all. That's amazing.
I love you, Ray Gay.
No,
He knows that.
you know the thing is, it's okay that someone like him gets like an allergic reaction because he's so what's the word? Pretty. You know, he's so like good looking
extremely
that
good
like he needs to have a little bit of adversity in his life.
Everybody's so good looking. I'll be honest with you.
It's true.
I kind of get a little. In the beginning, I was like a little self conscious. I was like, everybody's so pretty up here.
Yeah, like when you're sitting next to me in the hair and makeup trailer,
Yeah.
and I look like death, and you're
Dude.
going, you're like, oh wow, well she makes me feel a little better.
Can you? One of the best feelings I get is making Vondi laugh, like guttural laugh.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. Whenever he calls me B, which he likes to do, no one else calls me this, by the way. Whenever he calls
Wonderful.
me B, I'm like, so cool. Yeah, so I
Dude.
get that.
His Instagram posts, baller. Like he's just like Paris.
I know.
It's in Paris.
I know.
In his apartment in Paris. I'm like,
Amazing.
okay.
What a cool guy. Cool guy.
Dude, he's coming on the show. It's
When's
just
he
hard with
coming?
his.
I
I don't
know,
know.
schedule.
He's in New York. He's New York
Yeah, he's
based.
taking like private planes to Maryland to like shoot for his wife's film about Harriet Tubman. I mean, he's living the life.
Oh, he's amazing. I remember though, like usually in the mornings, there was toward the end of filming, we all got sick, I believe, right? Like I got sick, and I know somebody else was sick. But
Sure.
anyway, I was really sick towards the end of filming.
Oh, I do remember this.
It
Yes.
was actually my last day on
Oh, yeah.
on season 2, where I was like, oh, I don't like mentally. I was just like, I don't care anymore. I just want to go home and sleep.
Yeah.
I don't. The last 3 days have been miserable
Yeah.
right now. And then it was so funny because usually I'm a very morning person. In the makeup trailer, good morning. How's everybody doing? Maybe a little silly goose. I'll see how everybody else is feeling. Won't bug Jasmine if she's sleeping. I'll be like, all right, all right. Who else wants to talk? Nobody wants to talk.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll look at my lines. Dude, I was like, hi, Vondi, and he's like,
Barely talking, Wee
Dude.
Sam.
dude, Vondi was like, you know something's wrong when Wee Sam doesn't go, good morning.
I know. It's so true. It's so true. By the way, because when you're sick, I mean, it sort of feels like the world is coming to an end because you're your energy is so consistent, you
Mm.
know. But when you're sick, he wears it. Boy, does he! I mean, his eyes, he looks like what's that sad character with the eyes and the floppy ears?
Oh, the cartoon?
Yeah,
Droopy?
yeah. You look like Droopy.
Can we pull him up?
I am already on it.
Yeah, so when you're sick, it's like you just see Droopy come and like you don't exert anything because you're just saving it. I'm
Oh,
sure.
I have to save it.
This is
Yeah.
you sick. This is you sick.
That's pretty accurate, actually.
It's actually an incredible version of you sick. It's a painting I drew for you when you're sick.
Dude, I have to save it for the shots.
Of course you do. I know. When you go down, it is like you go hard.
Oh,
Hard.
what?
Sad.
What was it that got me sick last year? Dude, it was sinuses, coughing, and then I was like, dude, this is gonna last a while, I feel like. It's one of those things where I'm like, here we go.
No.
Yep, here we go.
Gosh.
The tickle in your throat, and then it becomes scratchy, and I'm like, oh. But something I did different, which lasted a lot less this time around, I went hardcore with the vitamins and the supplements to whatever was like the recommended dosage. I doubled it.
Whoa.
Yeah. And especially with my throat, I would gargle Listerine, and it would burn
Yeah.
so bad.
But kills that bacteria, maybe? Is that what you're thinking?
I think it did. And plus the honey and the lemon and like all like
Coating.
the turmeric and everything. That only lasted really with the coughing and the mucus.
Don't
2
say
weeks.
mucus. Not on the live.
So what? What's wrong with mucus?
It's a terrible word. It's worse than panty or moist.
Mucus?
Yes.
Moist? Panty? Mucus?
Yes.
I don't really. You don't like that stuff.
No, it's not the imagery I don't mind. It's the actual word mucus.
Oh, that's really.
yeah. It's a
that's
combination of
interesting.
letters. I don't like it. I don't mind moist. Panty's cool. Mucus. I don't love.
I'm learning new things about you.
Well, it's
throughout this show.
about time.
Yeah. Speaking of, when are we going to work out again? Or do yoga? We need to do hot yoga.
We need to do hot yoga. I did it last week. We did our stairs the week before. I think it's time for maybe some hot yoga.
I think so. I'm kind of nervous. I want to do the really hot class.
I know, me too. And we should do it. It gives me, you gotta drink, guys, word of the wise, you have to drink so much water before doing this hot yoga because I had a headache for like 3 days afterwards. I hate water. I really do. Like, I hate the stuff. It's why I drink Mountain Dew all day long.
What?
Yeah.
You hate water?
Yes, I'm not the only one out there. You guys know. So I hate water. So, it really takes a lot out of me to drink the stuff.
Yeah.
And, one glass is usually about my max. So
Wow.
before the hot yoga, I have to actually, you know what I should do before the hot yoga? Get one of those IVs where they just extra hydrate you.
That would be a lot of work.
No, you just go. You see, here in LA, we're real fancy. All you do is you pop into one of these places. They got like a little drip for you. They hook you up, put a
So
needle
lazy.
in, and then
So lazy.
bam.
Wouldn't survive in the wild.
Me? No, I'd need an IV for sure. For sure.
Oh, man. What else is going on with you?
Me?
Yeah. No. You.
I don't know. What is going on?
Life seems to be going pretty good for you.
I was recently, I can't remember who it was. Who was it? Oh, I was at my friend Mahaley's house, and her husband's very funny. Every time I see him, he's always like, he's one of those people who just sort of like asks you about your life really intensely and wants a lot of detail, which I find great because I love talking about myself.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and he said, "You look really good. You look happy. You feel happy. Your energy is really good." And I was like, "Yes, I think so." And I don't. It's not to say that I wasn't happy or doing well in the past, couple years that I've known specifically the husband. I just think right now I'm in a really nice balance of life. Like I have a lot of good things going. I have really good people in my life. Yeah, I have really great people. By the way, can I just say, Sam so sweetly texted me yesterday. Oh. Okay, just come on. And he warmed me. It was a turning point in my day. Because he was just like, I'm really appreciative of you, basically. And it was so nice. So any of you out there who have people that you care about and just want to be like, well, maybe I'll just shout out and say, like, thanks for being you. Do it. Because it really made my day yesterday. I loved it. It was so sweet. But yeah, I just feel like I'm well-rounded in my life right now a little bit. Like I got a lot of good stuff going. I'm traveling. I'm trying to be more present. I have good friends. I have good family. I'm trying to like be a bigger part in people's lives, not because I need to, but because I want to. You know, work I feel like is really going well. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm also really happy with like, you know, sometimes in life when you're like, ooh, I can't wait for this, or ooh, I'm so excited for this,
Yeah.
or like I gotta get here in my life. I'm like really cool with just like this moment right now. You know what I
Nice.
mean? I'm cool with like every step of the way, and that feels good, guys.
Yeah.
Feels good.
It's an amazing place to be in. You know,
Mhm.
and really grateful and full of
Mhm.
gratitude,
Yes.
and having like, oh, I've got all these things coming up, and I can focus on them, but I'm also have a good support system. So much to be thankful for right now, especially nowadays. That's
There's
awesome.
nothing I would change.
That's wonderful.
There's really nothing I would change. I mean, yeah, I'd be like, ooh, I want this for so and so because they deserve it. But like in terms of my life, there's nothing I would change about my life.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
that's an amazing place to be in.
Yeah, you got to be grateful for what you got, and I've been very fortunate in my life. I've been given so much.
You know, that's super key. Whenever things are going bad, you know, we kind of focus on the bad things that are going on. But I truly know this works because this is what I do. Is whenever things are going rough, you got to count your blessings. You got to go, okay, what's going good in my life right now that I'm glad isn't going bad. You know?
It's funny you say that because whenever people would say count your blessings, because I remember that's something like my grandmother would say when I was a kid. And so it sort
Yeah.
of lost its meaning a little bit. I didn't really understand like count your blessings. Like I didn't actually think about it as being like literally look at your life
Yes.
and go like, these are the things I'm grateful for, you know, like count them and say them out loud because that's it. That's all I do. I was talking to someone recently and I just started, I mean, this is so annoying of me because I'm sure people are like, okay, get her out of here. We get it. You got a great life. But I literally just started like saying, just like I did now, all the things that are going great for me in my life. Not to be like, what's the word? You know, not to be like boastful.
Right.
Um,
I'm not getting that.
yeah,
from
it's
you,
not to it's not to like brag like, lucky.
No, you're just happy about
I'm
it.
so happy. I'm so happy.
You know, that's also why I like running in the mornings. Because things are going great right now.
Oh yeah.
And there is a lady, and probably a lot of people out there, who have to wake up at 4 a.m. not out of luxury, but because of a necessity to go to their job, to take their kids to school, to work a triple shift, a double shift. And so I always try to think about that like, dude, when you wake up in the morning, this is a luxury that you have.
Yeah.
And I think it's necessary for people who have things going good for them to have some kind of really difficult part or really like a challenge in their day, because that comfort, that is a killer, I feel like. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I'm not saying
I
like
hear you.
everything is going comfortable for you, but this is something that just sparked in my mind, because when we're not forced with, when we're not presented with challenge or adversary, we kind of just like lay back, relax, chill.
It's so funny you say that because I think, and maybe this is wrong, but I think a part of why I'm so happy now is because a couple years ago I really challenged myself with things that were comfortable with me.
Yeah.
But in a way, those things didn't make me happy anymore, but it was just comfortable and I just understood it and I knew it and I could rely on you know, like you know, friends and people and situation and work. Like all of it sort of just like lined up and seemed comfortable, but didn't necessarily make me happy anymore. And through therapy, which I highly recommend, I realized that there were some big changes that I needed to make in my life, like big changes. And it scared the poopy out of me, like hardcore scared me. So I started out kind of slow, you know, just like making really small changes, and not by even making changes, but just changing my mindset and how I would handle things. And through that came pretty big changes in my life, and not even intentionally. It was just like, okay, this is how I'm going to actually make myself by doing this, or by having this behavior, or by, you know, taking these actions. It will make me happier because I know that this is the end goal for me for this moment, not ultimately the end goal, but just this is what I'm looking to be and feel in the world. slowly but surely I made those changes. And in the last like 6 months, I would say, I finally got to the point where I was like, oh, it was all for something. Like, had I not been brave enough, also, I wasn't even that brave, but I just thought at the time, like, these are the things that I needed to do. But had I not taken that step to be uncomfortable for a little while with the not knowing, then I wouldn't be in this place now where I feel like, oh, I'm at this whole new sort of mindset. I have this whole new perspective, and things will continue to evolve and continue to change because I'm not so set in this comfortable mode. Does that make sense?
100%.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, how am I going to explain this?
No, I totally get that, and it's. Yeah, I mean, when you sit around all day and you have a bunch of free time, which a lot of artists do,
Yep.
you kind of get complacent. It's easy to be negative. It's easy to complain about things. You need adversity. You need, like, your muscles literally need stress
Yeah.
so they could break down and rebuild stronger.
Yeah. Yeah.
That applies to you as a whole too.
Ooh, yeah. No,
know?
it does. You're so right. It's
Like
a
that feeling
complex
we
mind.
got after 100 flights of stairs. We did 100 floors. How, dude? I would. By the way, when people think I do these workouts, they think, "Oh man, he's probably not tired." I am dead tired
Yeah.
after this.
He's got the sick, like, droopy face. Look.
Oh, dude, I sat down on the floor right
I
there.
know.
People were passing by. I'm like, I don't care. I can
Yeah.
barely breathe right now.
Yeah.
But once you catch your breath, yeah, your recovery time gets shorter and shorter. But once you catch your breath, you're like, whew, man, I'm glad I pushed myself. Even though I didn't feel like going today, I still did it. I feel good about that. Cool. And then you don't feel so guilty when you take a rest throughout the day. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
You feel like you earned it. Like,
Yes.
hey, I earned this. It's okay. And then you start getting smart about things.
So nice. I love that. Good job, Michael. So
Daddy's happy.
It's gone. It's gone. But this guy's happy too. No, you're so right. You,
You know?
you feel like you've earned. I love that. Like, you
Yeah.
feel like you earn it because things in life are, great when they just sort of happen to you. But when you feel like you've really earned something.
Yeah. And then again, I'm jumping back to this free climber thing. I'm sure he gets some kind of satisfaction from that. That, like, oh, I climbed this, but like the risk is just so insane of you not, because it's so easy for you. Like what he was saying, like if you're not in the moment, you fall off. It's like, yeah, and then you die.
You die.
So
He doesn't even have a parachute on.
I feel like skydiving is safer than what he's doing.
It is.
like
100 times safer. Yeah, it is. Would you skydive, do you think?
I've skydived once before.
Oh,
Yeah,
you have?
I love it.
Where? Here, like in
Santa Barbara. It
Santa
was so
Barbara.
beautiful when I went.
Beautiful. That sounds great.
I went 8 years ago, I think. Most beautiful thing.
I'd like to do it. I
Do
would.
it.
Yeah, I don't know why I haven't. Maybe tomorrow.
Season 3, FTP. We do
Ooh,
it.
we'll film it.
Film it.
Sandra Takes a Leap. That's what the episode's called.
I love it when okay, I hope we get a season 3 just so we can fake pitch episodes to Paul.
Oh, it's my favorite
And,
thing to do in my
like fun
mind.
annoy him.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
yeah.
yes, yes.
Paul, you got a second?
Okay, so I know you weren't a fan of the buddy cop comedy, like, route, but Sandra Takes a Leap. That's what the episode's called. And we go with her. She's going to fly out of a plane. And then from that point on, she just really understands her client and she can win her case. And then she gets a boyfriend.
Yeah. And the B storyline that frames it all, Jay is like, hey, the guy who owns the skydiving business, he's in a little bit of legal trouble. There was a murder.
Sandra almost died.
And the murderer is one of the flight instructors.
And he's my boyfriend.
And Charles tries to tackle him, but he doesn't do a great job. And so
Because
Jay has to come in there.
Charles is angry because he's taken Sandra off the market.
and then Jasmine she's like, "What are you guys doing?"
I love the idea that we're pitching like on a whim. Like we don't actually have any ideas, but we just show up to his office and we're like, "Oh crap, we didn't come up with any ideas." But here we go. All right, let's do this.
Paul, what do you think? What do you think?
This is our pitch. This is our pitch.
We can get a script to you in about 6 months.
Yeah. I actually did a show once where the actor was so dissatisfied with the scripts that we were
Shut
getting
up.
that he wrote his own episode. By the way, he did it in like 3 days. I was like, whoa, he is capable.
Okay.
That was the big takeaway for me. He was like, "Whoa, he's capable." But
Were
he
they
was,
good scripts?
I don't know. I didn't read it, but but he did say he was like, you know what, these are crap scripts. I hate this character. I hate words. I mean, he's very, not grateful for that job. Sweet guy. That was so sweet. But he just pumped out a script in like a couple days and sent it to the entire cast and the creator of the show. Bold choice. We didn't get a second season. But
Dude,
crazy good, right?
First
what
off,
a move.
I want to comment on that. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. So, I think whenever actors negatively complain about, oh, I don't like where this character is going, whatever. You know what? It's the cards you're dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
Creatively make it work.
Yeah.
That's the simple answer. Hey,
Preaching to the choir over here. I'm like, oh, you want me? Sure, yeah, I'll do anything.
honestly,
Just to avoid the combo.
you know what? Hey, nobody cares. Work harder.
I know. When nobody cares, work harder. I love that.
Sorry, it's
Yeah.
not perfect for you. Do your job.
Yeah, do it. They hired you. Yeah, but I've always sort of been I've always had this, but I also, I am of that school of thought.
Mhm.
But there are times where I meet people and they'll be like, okay, so I'll give you a fresh example. So someone recently, they were working on a show and his character has to say a really, simple line like, oh, hell no, was the line. And he has a very specific character. Like his character is like is like very aloof, dumb, sort of like down, is never like sassy or like has any sort of sass or anything.
Yeah.
So he's having a really hard time trying to make oh hell no work with his character because it actually says a lot about his character.
Yeah.
So he was like, okay, why don't I just say like no or oh no and just leave the hell out because that's the part that made it sassy. And so he kept saying like oh no or oh no, like different versions of oh no. And then finally they were like there's a hell in there. You've got to say the hell. I mean, this is the writer is like a very well-respected guy. Like he wants his words and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, of course, yeah, I'll give you, he didn't say like, well, I believe that, he didn't give any of that. It's just originally why he made that choice.
Right.
So then they had him do like 10 versions of oh hell no because they hadn't gotten it in any of the other coverage and they were going to have to use this one specific piece of coverage if they wanted this line. So they just made him like do like wild lines. Like have you ever had to do that where you're just saying the same thing over and over and over just in different ways?
Yeah. Part of the job, by the way.
Yeah,
this is not like
yeah, no, part of the job. Yeah, this isn't like groundbreaking info. But what's funny about those 3 words is, and I don't know if this happens to you, but it happens to me sometimes, is after a certain amount of time and you say the same words, like short words like yellow, 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 all over and over again, at a certain point you go like, wait, is that the word? Like, because it just starts sounding different in your mind. You're like, wait, is yellow what I'm referring to? It's like, yeah, it's yellow, but you've said it so many times. Anyway, my point being is that sweet guy thought he was doing himself a favor by making this like bold choice, ended up screwing himself in the pants because he then had to like say it 10 times in a row, probably completely unnaturally because it wasn't coming off the scene. It was just like repetitive. Yeah. And sure enough, they're probably going to use the take where, he wasn't giving his bold choice to go for the character gets. Not that any of this matters, by the way. You can cut out this entire story. But my point being
No,
is
I get
like it happens with good people who are trying to do the right thing, and then it happens to people exhibit this behavior who are just like, who are just being like snarky, like entitled actors. You know?
And I'm specifically targeting the entitled
ones. Yeah.
Actors or artists to feel like, well, no, I shouldn't. I deserve perfection if I'm going to say words. That to me drives me crazy. It's like, guy, work with what you got.
Mm-hmm. I know. Yes.
You're not the only one. You're not the only one in this production. You're not the only actor in this production. You're not the only actor in the world. Just do your job well,
Yeah.
and that's it, man. We need you to do your job.
Because, by the way, that decision for
Drives
that
me
person
crazy.
to make, yeah, I agree. Because what that person is saying is like, my job is far more important than the other 45 jobs that it's going to then affect. Because
Yes.
everything we say trickles down, you know, and it affects this thing or that thing, or whether it's a prop, or whether it's a positioning, or whether it's, you know, the writer, the, you know, the director. It all, the fellow actor, it affects someone somewhere, even if it's a minor change, like from oh no to oh hell no, you know?
I remember I had one line note this last season, and I remember going the day before we were shooting because we got the script the day before.
Mm-hmm.
Like we get the script, then the next day I came forward to the writers who's on set, kind of as a
Yeah,
ambassador for Paul.
right.
To make
an
sure that-
Alex or
Yeah,
Chelsea
yeah.
or
It was
whoever.
Alex actually. I go, hey man, I know this line isn't intended to sound like this, but initially it sounds kind of like aggressive, or I'm making fun of the other person. I'm probably going to say it like this, like.
Ooh.
And he's like, okay, yeah, that's how we intended it. I'm like, but he's like, I see what you're saying. It does come off when you read it.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna talk with Paul and the writers. We might get an alt for you for this one.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's fine. If not, I can make it work. I'm just giving you a heads up in case
Oh,
we go into
Genius.
that way. You've come forward with like, hey, this might be a problem for tomorrow. I can make it work, but just so you know, it's
Yeah.
coming off like this for me. Cool. Oh yeah, I definitely. And they had an alt for it.
And
The
by
next day they
way-
got an alt, and I was like, cool, thanks.
And you didn't waste people's time for a half hour trying to like, oh, can we reach Paul? Or, oh, we're waiting. We're not sure. Just say
Right.
it like it is. Or can we just get one? You know, it's like, no, you've skipped all those terrible steps
Right.
by just, you know, doing your work ahead of time, which I think is amazing.
It just mitigates
Mm-hmm.
the potential for time loss on set, and that's also a big thing for me. I love acting and everything, but I want to go in and I want to go out because I want people to go in and go out as well. I don't want to
Yeah.
waste people's time when
That's
I'm on
right.
set. Underprepared actors,
Ooh, bummer.
you couldn't drive me madder.
I know. It's a bummer.
You couldn't drive me crazier. And I'm like, dude, you got all this way, and now you want to come unprepared?
Well, you know, it's funny, and I think this is what happens to a lot of them, specifically on our show. You know, because they'll go in and they'll audition, right? If you're an actor, you know what it's like. You go in, you audition. You have your, you know, sometimes it's the day before, so you're not as prepared as you'd like to be, just because maybe you don't have the capacity,
Right.
but you've got everything that you can go and give your best. Then you get cast. Oh my God, they want me. I'm going on set. I'll just do what I did in that audition. I was cast from it. And this is what I think is happening. They're not working on their stuff like before they come in because they've now been cast, and they're not like going over their scenes, and they're not being diligent about their work, and they're not making sure that they know every single line the way that they
Yes.
should, because we're real sticklers like that for the people, because it's a law show and we're dealing with law, and people are speaking, you know, they've been to high levels of education, and they, you know, like, I can barely get away with anything on that show because
Oh.
I have poor grammar. So
Also,
you
it's a
know,
respect to the writers.
Yeah, of
And
course.
because they took the time to specifically choose certain
those
words.
words.
So, cool, man. I'll
Yeah.
respect that.
But here's the thing is, I don't think these actors, when they are unprepared, they're not getting these memos, or they just don't understand really what it takes to learn word perfect, you know, dialogue.
Yeah.
And so they come in and they think they're prepared, and then we do a rehearsal, and our script supervisor comes up and they're like, oh, see, you got that wrong, and oh yeah, this is here and this is wrong, and then you've done this wrong, and actually here you've done this, and then you have to say this, and then literally their mind is blown, and they go into their trailers, and I'm pretty sure a lot of them are like crying. I know this for a fact from like one of the actors, because then once you get in your head about, you know, it's they are instead of they're, and, you know, and it's little things like that all
Right.
added up, then it's like a downward spiral. And I've watched it happen to so many people on our show, and I feel bad. There almost needs to be like a warning that casting sends out, being like, if you don't know every word of this scene, they're not going to be happy. Something, you know?
This is a word perfect show.
It's a
Make
word
sure it's
perfect
word
show.
perfect. So let's mitigate that from that happening?
I
How
know.
how do we do that as actors? That's why I go to Sunday class every
Yeah.
Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Last couple Sundays we haven't been because of scheduling stuff, but for the most part, it's Sunday morning. Every
Yeah.
Sunday morning, we rehearse cold reading scenes. Never got these before. Awesome. Make sure that we're perfect when we're running them. Cool. Keep going. Keep running them. Keep running them. Keep running them. Keep running them. You try them different ways. Cool. I'm by myself. I have all day. I don't have anything to do today. I can spend an hour picking a random monologue and working on that monologue.
Wow.
I'm sorry. If you're not doing that as an actor,
Yeah.
don't be surprised or
I know.
don't be upset when you don't book work. Sorry.
I'm not doing that as an actor, and let me tell you, because this is okay. Let me just tell you, because
I'm angry.
and I'm booking work. No, I mean, yeah, on a Sunday, I'm not looking at a monologue. But there have been many Sundays where, maybe not Sundays, maybe a Monday. But there have been times where I do that just to practice or to
Great.
like exercise. But and this is why I think I'm trying to segue into producing a little bit, is because I've gotten to a point where I'm so sick of acting. And I know there are a lot of people out there that are not going to like that. But sometimes I get so sick of acting. And
Sorry.
Yeah.
Acting in what sense? Acting or the
words
the
and feeling things about them.
okay.
You know what I mean?
Actual acting, not like the business side of things.
No.
Okay.
Actual acting where I look at words
Mhm.
and I want to throw up
Okay.
because they're not mine and I don't want to make decisions about them.
Fair.
So it's kind of like when you're sick at work and you have to really conserve your energy before like going in. I've gotten to, and I'm out of it now, but there have been times where I get so sick of words and having to make choices that I really have to conserve my energy. Because when I do need to work on words and make choices and decisions about them, I want to be excited again and I want to like have fun with it. And I want to be there and do it. And I don't want it to be a chore on a Sunday. You know what I mean? Like I want it again.
That's totally okay.
Yeah. I'm just giving you the, other side of it a little bit.
Yeah, but let's look at your situation.
I
You're
know,
not
man.
brand new to LA. You
I know.
you haven't been here for 10 years.
12 years old.
You haven't been here for 10 years and not booked anything.
know.
And still don't have an agent.
Yeah.
And are complaining about, I'm not getting work.
Yeah.
I'm talking to the actors who are doing that,
Yeah.
who find themselves, oh shit, I might get into that zone, or maybe you know what, if I really want to take my craft and my career to the next level, I really got to take it up a couple gears.
No, by the way, you are so right. I was saying I'm so selfish. I'm so self-involved.
No,
I'm
no,
like,
no, no.
Well, I don't want to.
No, but it's okay to feel what you're feeling.
Yeah.
Because you're like, hey, I'm recognizing this awareness and I'm going, you know what, that's fine. Now I really have this passion has evolved into producing, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
It's not saying you're going to quit acting, but hey, my passion's, a lot of it's here right
Yeah.
now. And that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Maybe you are a brand new actor here and you're like, oh, maybe acting's not right for me, which is fine.
But by the way, if you are a new actor and you realize like, oh, I don't like words or making decisions anymore, get out now.
You know why I love military programs?
Ooh,
they
tell
really
me.
they really weed out people who don't want to be there, especially
Yes.
special op programs.
Yes.
There is I think it's the British SAS. Yeah, British Special Operations. There's a portion in their training. There's like an exercise they do for like a day or whatever it is. You know when they stop the exercise? When 5 people have quit. So
So they just keep going?
they keep going until 5 people quit.
Ooh.
So
Yeah, sorry.
no, to me, cool. How do we apply that to actors? How do you apply that kind of mentality which produces amazing results to your craft of acting? By the way, what I'm saying is not like, oh, this is just Wee Sam's willy-nilly, like weird philosophical view on life. This kind of like paralleling things to other things and using that formula to make positive results, that was recorded in the Book of Five Rings by Musashi, who was a legendary samurai who won over 60 life and death duels. So, and then what his philosophy that's said by other warriors, other people, other successful people in the future. I mean, these are universal truths I'm speaking.
No, yeah. Yep. No, okay. But what I was thinking about when you were saying this is how I would handle myself in a scenario like that.
Yeah.
Where where it's a group, it's a large group, and we're in the special operatives and we're training.
Yeah.
And they're only gonna stop when 5 people have quit. So what I would do at that point is just start psychologically getting people down. Like, ooh, I hear there's a cobra about 10 feet this way, and they're gonna make us wrestle this cobra. We could die. It's gonna be you. I hear they love blondes. I would just start maybe trying to psychologically manipulate, and that way maybe the exercise would be done faster.
Yeah.
Or quit.
Okay. Well, that's
Two options.
now the range is.
Yeah.
She's a wild card.
Okay, they're not buying the cobra. I'm done. Time out. They weren't buying it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
That was my contribution. That conversation.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Britt, you're so awesome.
Thanks, bud.
You might be coming back in a couple weeks.
Yeah, with the Jazzinatrix.
Jazzinatrix?
I don't know.
That's her new nickname.
Yeah, it's a little hard to say.
Dude, did you see my video of her I posted on my Instagram story where I thought she
Where
was
you
in...
were driving?
Yeah, and I thought it was...
kept waiting for her to pick her nose or something in that video.
Dude, I was screaming in my car.
Yes.
I was in an outline. Pretty sure everybody else heard me except for her.
What?
Yeah.
Maybe she was jamming out?
It freaked her out. That wasn't Jasmine.
What?
That was not Jasmine. It's on my Twitter too, the video. You guys can check it out. That wasn't Jasmine.
No.
I swear to you. And I was like, that's why I was doing it as a joke.
It wasn't Jasmine?
It was not just.
Her hair even looked like she does. when
Same
she
car
does-
she drives.
No, same car.
Dude,
Ooh,
I
that's
texted her
weird.
and she didn't go like ha ha ha. She goes, me and Camille are legitimately freaking out because we're at dinner right now and that is not me. And it looks exactly like me. And the car and everything, except I don't have those things hanging from my rearview mirror. What's going on?
I would put money on that. I mean, that is insanity. P.S.
Pulling
though,
up. Yeah.
my worst nightmare. Because sometimes, okay, I shouldn't say. Why am I saying this? Why? Sometimes
Don't say it.
I start
Don't say it.
talking and then.
Don't say it if you don't want to. I'm not gonna let you.
What I was gonna say is. No, but it is my worst nightmare because sometimes I'll be driving and I think and I don't know if this happens to anybody else, but when I'm driving, I think I'm in my own world, like I'm in my bedroom or my bathroom by myself, but I'm not. There's people all around and they're all watching. And sometimes I get nervous that a friend will come up and I'll be in the mirror, checking my teeth, looking at some boogers. Maybe I'll pick one, put on something crazy, you know? And then when I go to do it, I'll be like, oh, and I'll kind of look around, make sure no one's but when you posted that video, I was worst nightmare. I kept waiting for her to start picking her nose at the end of that video or something
First of
crazy.
all, if she did pick her nose, I would ask her before I posted it.
You would?
I would.
That's
I'm
so
not that mean.
sweet.
I'm not that mean.
Oh, man. By the way, if you ever catch me in the car picking my nose, you have to post it.
Well, then I'm doing it.
I mean, that is crazy.
Dude, I don't care.
I know.
When
I
I'm
wash
in the
my-
car,
I wash my hands.
Dude, I was about to pick my nose right now.
Yeah.
Don't care, people.
Just want to make sure there's a clean. Okay, let's watch.
So, looks exactly like her.
With the glasses and the hair up.
Dude,
Stop.
I make myself laugh way too much. It's me screaming. That
I
gets,
know.
Jasmine! Jasmine! Jasmine!
You can't say you work.
it's the last Jasmine, which is so guttural.
You say it's on Twitter. I mean, I could have put it up on there.
Oh.
The future.
No. Go check out his
Shoot.
Twitter page. You have to see it. It's
I
insanity.
forget that we have. Dude,
Remember when I saw that? I was
there it
so
is.
terrified.
It looks exactly like her.
What is going on? Her hair is back. She's got the glasses. It's hard to tell, but similar skin tone. It's probably singing, which Jasmine would be doing.
Yeah.
Ears. Sorry.
What do you think of the new studio, by the way?
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. You guys, this table, I don't know if you could tell, but it's beautiful. The table's beautiful. I love all the paneling around here and then or the trim around the windows, the glass, so if it's raining, you don't really know it unless you're
Do you hear the
looking.
cars outside?
I hear nothing. I mean, I have these giant headsets
Yeah.
on, but I hear nothing. It's like being in a, and what, you know what I also love?
Tell me.
Just behind Peyton's head, you can see through, so it just really feels big. You don't feel, it feels big in here, guys.
A lot of podcasting or other radio show stuff, it's obviously it has to be soundproof, so there's no windows usually. And so
Yeah.
you're in kind of like this weird room. Here, it's a lot more open, a lot
So
more
open.
free. We're really excited to show people, or just to do more shows in here. Like our guys' night is going to be on our 50th episode. It's Jonte's birthday. Yeah, which is going to be really special because we're going to get him so good.
Oh, no.
And then you guys coming in at 51, you and Jazz, hopefully, if you're not in
cute.
New York.
Yeah. We'll find out soon.
Yeah, I don't know. And yeah, I'm just really thankful. We got a lot more special things coming for the show, and it's just growing. I wanted to announce this in the intro, but I'll just announce it now. Our numbers have raised. Did you know that, guys?
I didn't know.
By 2,000.
What? What?
Yeah.
Where'd these people come from?
Live
How'd they-
listeners.
What? Really?
Live listeners on Thursdays. We raised about just over 2,000 listeners.
That's really cool.
Yeah, ever since we started in the new year, and
With
so
the new
thankful.
room. Maybe the new room's giving you good vibes,
I'm
good
not.
positivity.
I wouldn't be surprised, and it's just gonna keep growing and growing.
I think it's you.
Well, thank you.
What the
I just stabbed myself in the chin.
Don't do it.
I just stabbed myself in the
Gentle.
chin.
It's a good face. It's your money maker.
It is. It is.
But
Hey.
it's beautiful in here.
Real quick, thanks for coming in today.
Yeah.
I
pleasure.
always, whenever you want, you come in here and you bring your friend. Hey, next time bring a friend. Maybe we should do a thing where Britt brings a friend.
Britt brings a friend.
I kinda
Ooh,
like that.
I could get some good ones in here. Some real weirdos, but also some.
Perfect.
You know what I mean?
I'm not joking.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Yeah. You
Great.
give me a day, and I'll bring in someone cool.
I will.
Or someone not so cool. Would it be great if I just brought someone in just so
wild
I could
card.
rip on him? You know, be like, "Oh, you're a terrible human."
Oh my God.
No. I
Nah,
wouldn't do it. But I would bring some cool people in.
Let's do it. We're gonna do a
Maybe
thing.
Buddy and Clyde, the dogs. I'm kidding. You're like, no.
No.
Hair everywhere. No.
Actually, this floor needs to be swept, but we'll do that later.
Beautiful. I love the
Nobody can see the
color
floor.
in here. This is the color of my bathroom, by the way, in case you're curious. Not with like the foam, but like this sort of charcoal blue. I love.
It helps people pop too on the video stuff.
I think my eyes probably pop with this sort of color
Oh, you think so?
palette.
Yeah.
Cause they're blue, but like a darker blue.
Do we have the right white in here with the color? Yeah, we have the natural daylight, I think,
It's
right?
the beautiful.
I think so.
Yeah. We should have
white.
checked beforehand. Oh, and it's the little things I love. So
Tell me.
the wires, obviously, Brett and Katie helped out a lot with the building of the studio.
Disguise the wires.
You see the wire
Yeah.
hiders? I
Yeah.
just love that it's hidden.
No, it's great.
Yeah, I put those up myself.
No, it's really clean.
It's
It's a clean aesthetic. I have a hard time saying that word.
Aesthetic.
Thank you.
Atticanest. Britt, you're awesome.
We Sam.
March 7th on ABC on the TGIT lineup, ladies and gentlemen, Thursdays.
Whoa.
For the
By the
people.
way, it's always been a dream of mine to be on that lineup.
Well, now it's come true.
Here we are.
Shonday.
Let's play the outro music, my brother. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into the show. As Britt dances, I will be saying our thank yous. Thank you to you, the listener, first and foremost, for your awesomeness. A little bit down. Can we do the music? Yeah, there we go. And then thank you to Adobe Radio. Thank you to Nice Guy Digital. Thank you to you, Michael. It's been 2 weeks since I've seen you.
It has been.
I'm glad for
2 weeks.
yeah. Thank you, Peyton.
My pleasure.
Good to see you as always, man. Thank you to Britt for coming on the show. Ooh, girl. She just farted. No.
Just kidding.
Thank you to Steph for all your social media prowess. We appreciate it. Always remember to listen, think, and then talk.
I love that.